What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing Aaron Jones re-signing with the Green Bay Packers and what that kind of means headed into the offseason for these guys. This is a team that's lost in back-to-back NFC championships. Obviously, their immediate reaction is Aaron Rodgers needs a weapon. And while I agree with that, I think most of the problems on why they are not winning why they can't get past the NFC Championship is defense. Now, yes, Aaron Rodgers getting a weapon would help them out so much more. It would take pressure off Devontae Adams and off Aaron Jones. You saw Robert Tonyan come play a big role this year, and I'm going to talk about him in a minute. But for beginners, Aaron Jones has a 4-year, $48 million contract. That's $12 million per year. He was accounted for 23% of the Green Bay Packers offense last year in terms of yardage and 16% of their points scored. And on top of that, I mean, you have the MVP quarterback. Like, something's got to give here, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, in terms of offense, I mean, you have Jamal Williams, who's going to be a free agent, and then that gives you A.J. Dillon in the backfield with Aaron Jones. So that kind of solidifies that backfield. In my opinion, I don't think they're going to go after another running back. I think they'll either try to re-sign Jamal or maybe a late round draft pick, because there's a lot of good running backs in this draft, like Javonte Williams, Najee, Etienne, the other North Carolina running back. I mean, there's a lot of depth in the running back class. It's just not a lot of talent that's like first, second round guys. A lot of these guys are third round picks, fourth, fifth, second, third day guys. And for the Packers, they have picked 135, 142, 173, 177, 212, 218. A lot of picks that are close together that I think they could grab a running back somewhere in there, somewhere in that 4 to round 6 range. Now, what this Aaron Jones signing means for the offseason, it kind of tells you that I'm looking at a list. They have 14 unrestricted free agents. They have guys like Tonyan and Lazard who have they still have some kind of control over. Not exactly sure what that means. They just lost Christian Kirksey to Houston, so immediately that goes right back to your defensive problems, where you've got voids to fill in the defense. You need linebackers. You need D-line. With the salary cap situation, chances are they could release Darius Smith. I don't see it happening. I would expect them to kind of rework their contract, make it team friendly, or get those voided years that everybody's coming up with now. You have Kevin King, who's going to need re-signed unless you feel confident in a backup corner taking his place, because you still have Jair Alexander. Defensively, you have James Burgess, Montravius Adams, Damon Harrison, Will Redmond, and Billy Wynn, who are all free agents. Now, those guys are essential in re-signing, but they're not the core defense. In my opinion, I think you're looking at using that first round pick, drafting a D lineman, maybe a linebacker. There's a lot of good defensive talent in the first round, and the first 15, 20 picks are going to be so offensive heavy that I think you can get away with taking a Nick Bolton, a Zaven Collins, Barmore if he's available, somebody like that in that first round, and no one's really going to care. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be pissed off at you for taking a good defensive tackle or a good linebacker to help get defense, because at the end of the day, the Packers gave up 31 points to the Buccaneers. Now, obviously, they played really well. You were down 21-0 at halftime, 21-10 at halftime, and then the second half, your defense did good. You got interception, offense goes 3 and out. Interception, offense goes 3 and out. End up losing the game. So the Packers are in a really tough situation where you look at that and you're like, okay, offense needs help. But then you're like, you look at the NFC Championship from 2019, 2020 season, and you're like, no, the defense needs help. And then it's like, well, the Buccaneers, beat the crap out of you in Tampa. Defense needs help. But again, Aaron Rodgers did not play very well. He had 2 pick sixes, I believe, that game. I know one for sure. So what this team is going to do, there's no telling. But again, in my opinion, I think they need to go after a good defensive player at pick 29, just because I think there's going to be all the top offensive talent is going to be gone. If somebody's there, grab them. But in my opinion, go after a good defensive guy. There's a lot of good defensive guys who will fall into that 24 to 40, 48 grouping, I guess you can call it. That late first round, early second. That's where a lot of defensive players are going to go. Now, something I think the Packers are going to do, and I think I saw a tweet about this from CJ Golson, I believe, on Twitter, is attacking free agent wide receivers to kind of justify going after a defensive player with that first round pick. You have a ton of good offensive wide receivers that you can go after. If you're able to re-sign Tanyan and Alan Lazard, then you're good to go. You have Curtis Samuel. I'm just going to read off a list, and this is only like a 15% of the free agent wide receivers that are there. You have Curtis Samuel, Kenny Golladay, Golden Tate, Deshaun Jackson, T.Y. Hilton, Sammy Watkins, Marvin Jones, Will Fuller, Juju, A.B., Dez. The list goes on and on. There's so many good wide receivers that if you can get MBS, Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard, and get one more. Get Golladay, get Marvin Jones, get Golden Tate. Just somebody like that can take a little bit of pressure off. Emmanuel Sanders, I don't think he's on the list. He would be a good one in my opinion. Bring him in. You got a lot of young receivers. Get Emmanuel Sanders in there. He's going to work his butt off. He's a good wide receiver. He's a little older. You can probably get him for cheap, cheaper than a couple of these guys. I think Deshaun Jackson you could get for cheaper. Maybe AB and Dez. Now, I don't know exactly if they would fit in the Green Bay culture, but they're good wide receivers nonetheless. I think if you get AB on track, you saw what he could do in Tampa. So that's where I see the Packers offseason going. I think they use the first couple draft picks in the draft to go defense, use free agency to sign that wide receiver, that weapon. Again, this is only if you get Lazard and Tanyan to re-sign. You have Kevin King you have to sign on defense. You need help in D-line. You need help in linebackers. You just got your running back. You're good there for the next 4 years. Aaron Rodgers, I think, still has 2 or 3 left on his contract. You're good there. You wasted a first-round draft pick last year. You've wasted first-round draft picks for what seems to be the last 20 years. Don't make that same mistake this time. And maybe we see you in the NFC Championship again, then the Super Bowl. I mean, realistically, you're looking at Tampa Bay as your only competition here. Drew Brees is gone. 49ers have a lot of who knows what's going to happen. Arizona's going to be good. Seattle, Russell don't want to be there. LA maybe. I don't know. It's a lot can happen, but to me, the Green Bay is the front runner to win the NFC this year. But we'll see what happens. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe for more NFL offseason content. We also got some FCS coverage as well if you're a fan of college football. But like I said, hit that subscribe button, follow us on social media, and check out all of our apparel in the link in the description below.